Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yup, what's good, original crew, man? We're back today. Today we got the deadliest mountains in the world. Would you ever climb? Like go rock climbing, go mountain climbing, or anything, hiking like that?
I go hiking. Yeah.
Have you seen that trail around here? Everybody like going hiking? They used to do it in college all the time, though.
The one that's... Oh, no, that's a cave.
The one that goes to that waterfall.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, I do that
I think they said like it's like a 45-minute hike.
And I just found this, let me see.
That ain't bad, though. 45-minute hike ain't bad, though.
No. Like, long as I'm like...
It might irritate you, but, you know, with your allergies.
Maybe. I'm trying to find this, I won't probably be able to find it.
I don't know what cave you talking about, though.
It's the one here. You remember?
Oh, you talking about the one that somebody died at? Yes, you remember somebody died. Like, somebody did die. But I don't know. I can't remember how they died at it.
Not too long ago.
Yeah. Like a year or two ago, somebody died. It was a student.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot how that happened, but yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'd go hiking, but... Cause
you remember when we found out about the cave? We was like, they got a cave around here? We was like, what?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
This girl I used to work with, I think she graduated like a year before me, and she was going hiking up the Appalachian. She said that was gonna be her like college graduation thing. Like after she graduated, she was going on going up the Appalachians and hiking through the Appalachian Trail, whatever it was considered. And I was just saying, oh, good luck. Because that was one thing she used to do all the time was she liked going hiking and stuff.
Yeah.
I wish I need to see if because she could help. She might could help. Because we had like of the same major, but hers was specified in another region that I feel like we can really benefit from. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially setup wise, she can really help with that. I need to hit her up because I used to work with her and we had the same majors and everything. But, hey, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals.
Like it in with a thumbs up.
But, hey, man, let's check it out. Let's see what it's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Let's start with the deadly and slowly work our way towards the ones that are pretty much
You good?
Yeah, my eyes just irritated.
The lights ain't even bright today.
They are.
No, they're not. They so not.
They whooping my tail.
No, they're not today.
They are. I can't see. Y'all, if I close my eyes while talking, it's because I'm blind.
Y'all, the lights ain't even bright, bro. I was gonna turn them up even more.
I'm like, oof.
They ain't even. Y'all, we got 3 lights. That's all.
My eyes are sensitive to light.
If she could, she'd say no, she prefer no light. And then we come on here looking like that curry. Right
and my eyes may look closed, but they open, I promise.
Death sentence. Number 5, Mount Everest. Well, I bet you didn't expect to see this one at the top of the list. Mount Everest is one of the deadliest mountains on Earth, claiming the lives of over 340 people. Now, if climbing Everest is on your bucket list, you might as well delete it now. Not because you lack the discipline or the endurance, even though both are true, but because the mountain is exclusively for the rich. Since climbing the mountain will cost you anywhere from $30,000 to $160,000.
Whoa!
Because you be knowing, like,
not those facts.
Stuff.
Not those facts. So you telling me all those bodies that's dead on that, they paid
no way.
Mount Everest is the one with the green boots, right?
Yes.
So you telling me not only did I pay to climb this mud, I'm also dead on this mud. That was an expensive funeral, huh?
Yes. With it's a permit fees and other costs involved, including travel, insurance, gear, and support service.
But I'm saying
support service.
Isn't green boots on that?
Yes.
So you telling me all those people that's laid out there dead?
Yes.
Basically paid for their own funeral.
According to this and according to what I just looked up.
What the fuck?
I didn't know that.
I did think it was like, you know what I'm saying, just something. Bruh, that's insane, bro. Just imagine you paying somebody
Wow.
$160,000, right, to go die.
So I wonder, like, what's like?
Not everybody dies from it though.
I wonder, like, how do you determine like the cost? Like, what's
And
30? What comes with the $30,000
Want me to
package?
tell you another question I got? What's the survival rate of people who make it and like make it to the top and come back down? What's the survival rate? It got to be low. Because a lot of stories I hear is people try to make it, but they have to turn back around. You know?
Dollars. Now, of course, everyone who makes it back alive says that the high price tag is worth it, since it pretty much guarantees that you will always have something to talk about at cocktail.
So it says what? Go ahead, let you.
It says the death rate for climbers on Mount Everest is roughly 1%.
So, that's low. That's the
low.
death rate.
That's death rate. Oh,
That's
yeah.
death rate.
I didn't look. I said survival rate.
But mine is like
but it's
survival is the
1%.
ones that actually make it to the top and come back down. Everybody who goes never make it to the top.
Right.
Not everybody who goes. A high percentage don't make it. Yeah. But so out of every 100 people,
it's 4%.
survival of 4.
That's what it said. It says since the percentage of deaths to successful attempts is around 4%.
That's low, but it's still too hot for my blood though.
Parties. The cheaper packages will get you a Sherpa that has maybe made the climb once or twice in his life, while the more expensive packages will get you a Sherpa that has been making the climb since he could walk and is strong enough to hike you out on his back if it comes down to it. Now let's talk about what makes Mount Everest so deadly, starting with the dangers that you will encounter the moment you arrive. You can fall off the mountain, fall through the mountain, become the mountain, and the all-time classic, the mountain falls on you. If you're lucky enough to make it to the first base camp, well, you better get comfortable, since you will be spending the next 2 to 3 months there. And with no Wi-Fi or electronics, you will be going life and death with boredom, as your body slowly acclimatizes to the altitude change, a necessary step to lower your odds of getting altitude sickness. But after a couple of months, it's finally time to begin your journey. As you work your way from Camp 1 to Camp 2, 3, and finally 4, you will face an entirely different set of dangers. You see, the entire time you've been worried about the mountain trying to kill you, but the thing that could end up taking you out is yourself. Since it's very common for climbers to develop cerebral edema, a condition where the brain swells due to low amounts of oxygen, which can quickly turn deadly. Then there's high altitude pulmonary edema, which is a condition where the blood vessels in the lungs constrict, leading to fluid buildup, and again, can quickly become a death sentence. But let's just say you're one of the lucky few who make it to Camp 4 perfectly healthy, which is great since you're gonna need that energy for the final push to the summit, which also happens to be the deadliest portion of the entire mountain, and is where the majority of deaths occur. And as you push your body to its absolute limit, you will struggle to catch your breath through your oxygen mask. Soon, your lungs begin to scream in agonizing pain as they feel like they're on fire, with your legs, hips, and back feeling like they will give out on you at any moment. But you just continue to tell yourself, one more step, knowing that all suffering must eventually come to an end. And what felt like an eternity later, you finally reach the moment you have dreamed of and worked so hard for. You have successfully made it to the back of the line, where you will have to wait for hours and hours to get what you came for, which of course was always a picture you could use for your social media profiles. Number 4, Kangchenjunga.
Bruh, it's not worth it. That's the only thing I heard from that whole thing. It's not worth it. Money, the pain, because even if I'm like, it's the amount of pain, the time,
I was like the time,
and the potential hazard of death.
Yeah,
it's not worth it, bro. And that was number 5.
That was number 5.
I thought that would have been the worst.
The danger quickly takes a massive jump from our last entry. Located on the border of Nepal and India lies the 3rd tallest mountain on Earth, Kangchenjunga. The mountain has a hefty 21% fatality rate and has only been conquered by 312 people. Now, you're probably wondering, why on earth would anyone choose to climb a smaller and way more dangerous mountain than Everest? Well, it's obvious, since in the very rare case that you meet someone who has climbed Everest, you'll be able to say, "Psh, that's it," and walk away. Now, before we talk about what makes this mountain so deadly, let's first cover all the benefits of choosing this mountain over Everest. It's cheaper. And now that we've covered all of the benefits, let's talk about all of the negatives and what makes it incredibly deadly. Now, of course, you will be facing all of the dangers that come with climbing tall mountains, like avalanches, falls, brain swelling, blindness, and everything in between. But the dangers that are specific to this mountain are its truly challenging climbing sections that require actual skill. Unlike Everest, there are no ladders to help you cross over deep crevasses. So you either have to create new alternate routes or have previously competed in the long jump. There also aren't hundreds of climbers that you can follow to its peak, since you and your crew will more than likely be the only ones on the entire mountain. Now, at first, you might think this sounds like a benefit, since you won't have to deal with the long line at the peak. But think again. This also means that in an emergency, it would be highly unlikely that you would ever receive any outside help, thanks to the mountain's extremely remote location. But perhaps the most terrifying thing about this mountain is its severe weather changes that come without warning. Heavy rainfall, wind, and snow can show up within minutes and can quickly turn deadly. And even if you're one of the lucky few who reach the top of the mountain, you still wouldn't be allowed to step foot on its summit, since the mountain is considered sacred by the locals. Doing so would not only be extremely disrespectful, but would also guarantee you a solo descent to the bottom. Number 3, Nanga Parbat.
So they just leave your, so they're gonna just leave your ass because you made it to the top. What's the fucking point?
What's the point, bro?
Parbat, better known as the Killer Mountain, is located deep in the mountains of Pakistan. It is the 9th highest mountain on Earth, with a whopping fatality rate of around 22%. Now, at first glance, the mountain looks pathetic, and even looks like a mountain you could climb with a good night's sleep. But boy, would you be wrong. The mountain has only been successfully summited by 261 people and has claimed the lives of 62, many of whose bodies remain on the mountain to this day. Some lay deep in crevasses, while others remain on the side of the trail. Like on many of the tall mountains, removing and carrying the bodies down is just too dangerous, and they will more than likely remain on the mountain until we have the technology to bring them back to life. But let's talk about what makes...
That would be crazy, right? We did have the technology to bring them back to life, and like unthaw them, and they'd be like, "Hey, we was that bring you back to life?" And you just like, "Damn, where I've been at for the past." I'm just saying, what if that was the case? You can go over there, freeze. 300 years later, they are able to unthaw you, right, and bring you back to life, and now you at that same age was just. Would that not be insane, though?
It's kind of freaky.
You're like, where my mom and dad? Oh, man, they died 300 years. 300 years ago?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Makes this mountain so deadly
Boy, you look good, huh?
What you doing?
compared to the others on the list. Not only are you dealing with all the previous dangers that come with climbing tall mountains, but now you must face one of the most challenging and exhausting climbs on Earth. Here, all of the skills you have learned at your local indoor rock climbing gym will be tested, since the mountain is home to the Rupal Face, the deadliest and highest mountain face in the world. It spans over 15,000 feet, with an average slope of 50 degrees. But for hypothetical sake, let's just say you managed to make it up the face. Well, sorry to break it to you, but you would still have another 4 to 6 days of climbing before you reach the summit. And once you snap your little picture and the excitement and euphoria slowly wear off, you will come to the haunting realization that you still have 3 days of descending. Number 2, K2. Again, we take another jump in danger. K2 is located in Pakistan and is the second highest mountain on Earth, only behind Mount Everest. There have only been 377 climbers who have reached its summit, with the mountain claiming the lives of 96 climbers, giving it an enormous 26% fatality rate. But let's get right to it and talk about what makes this mountain so deadly and different from the rest of the 8,000 plus meter mountains. It all comes down to this terrifying section called the bottleneck. And if that doesn't sound scary enough, well, maybe the frozen mummies and skeletons around the site will make you reconsider. Now, of course, this would also be a great time to check your equipment before attempting the deadly section, since this is one of the rare opportunities where you will have the chance to upgrade your gear. To see just how deadly this section can be, we just have to take a look at an incident that occurred in 2008 when 11 climbers lost their lives in an instant
11?
due to an ice avalanche. But let's just say you're one of the lucky few who survived all of the dangers and worked your way past the bottleneck. Well, you would still have to climb another section called the Summit Peak, which is yet another challenging stretch that will push you to your physical limits. And if you're one of the very few people to get past this section, you will be rewarded with one of the most beautiful views in the world. But here's the thing. Just because you made it to the top of the mountain doesn't mean you're safe. Because the horrifying reality is that roughly 80% of deaths actually occur on the descent, when you are completely exhausted and not thinking straight. Number 1, Annapurna.
That makes sense though.
Yeah.
Like, but that would make sense on majority all of them though.
Yeah.
Because all of them make you have like this like weird, like delusional mind state. So the descent, and that's another thing. It's not only the fact that you got to put in so much effort to go up. You got to put that same effort in coming down.
Yeah.
And you might have to be even more careful coming down than you were going up.
But
I'm good, man. How many of these got black people on? One, you dealing with cold, you dealing with hot, and you dealing with elevation. Black people, that's all 3 things black people like hesitant. Am I lying? We got some courageous black people be like, yeah, sign me up. I'm ready to go up a mountain. Me, I like flat surfaces. I like to be able to see my feet be on land. I can see miles away.
it'd be crazy.
When you are completely exhausted and not thinking straight. Number 1, Annapurna. Deep in Nepal's mountain range sits the deadliest mountain on
Nepal.
Earth. The mountain is only the 10th highest mountain on the planet. Now, I know what you're thinking. The deadliest mountain on Earth sounds like a complete pipsqueak. But don't let its height fool you. This challenge is exclusively for professional climbers. And even then, 1/3 of those professional climbers never make it back alive or at all. Annapurna has an enormous 32% fatality rate. There have only been 365 people that have reached the summit, while 72 climbers have lost their lives in the attempt. But let's get right into it and talk about what makes this mountain the deadliest in the world. From the moment you begin your climb out of Camp 1, the mountain will try to kill you. With every step you take, you must remain laser focused, making sure to avoid the hundreds of cracks and gaps in the ice, which could easily take you on the most unexpected slip and slide.
Yeah, I'm
now, if you
good.
make it to Camp 2, you will need some much deserved rest. Well, that's if you can even sleep, since avalanches hitting campsites are not uncommon from this point on, and occur at much higher rates than any of the other high mountains. But let's just say you're one of the lucky few who managed to get a good night's sleep and begin to make your way to Camp 3. From here on out, the odds of you running into a storm are very high, since hurricane-level winds, blizzards, and storms are very common and come without warning. And if by some miracle you reach Camp 3, you can rest easy knowing that you were completely surrounded by deep crevasses that don't seem to have an end. This is probably where I would just turn around, as it's starting to not seem worth it. But again, if you happen to make it through the night once more, you will now make your way to the final camp, Camp 4, which will require you to climb a vertical wall of snow and ice. And the dangers of ice avalanches coming down on you and your team are very real. They're actually so common that most climbers are pretty much
Smoking,
guaranteed to see at least one. But if by some miracle and stroke of luck, all your hard work pays off and you reach the peak, you will finally be rewarded with one of the most beautiful views in the world. So much so that you can almost say the climb was worth it.
Yeah, never sign me up. I would never go on
I wonder
any
if
of these.
all the people who have like successfully made it to the top and back down on like all of them,
Yeah.
have y'all repeated, like did like a second trip? Like, oh, I was
But
able
it
to
wouldn't
do
be
the first-
worth it though, right?
To some people, it would.
If I'd have made it, but I'm saying like I made it one time already, and I could successfully say I made it. What's the point? And I
But
understand
haven't we heard stories where people like it was like they second? Well, I think it was because they didn't successfully make it and they tried and they didn't successfully make it.
Now
I
that-
want to try again.
yeah.
And top. So that's different. So
yeah. But
You're right,
if once
you're
I'd have
right.
made it
then and I done
and I'd have seen it,
okay, check
yeah, check it out.
off the, off the bucket list.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hey, man, with that being said, y'all spam us up in the comments. Y'all let us know which one was the... Probably, I still say Everest should have been higher, though, just from the understanding the history. But I get what... Now,
those other ones,
the other ones are crazy, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think just Everest is the one that's mainly talked about the most.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
But hey, man, y'all spam us up. Let us know y'all thoughts about it for us down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Here to go.
We are. We are.
Ain't no time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar.